What if your legs could carry you again? What if tomorrow you stood up from bed without pain? No wobble in your knees, no tightness in your calves, just steady, strong legs beneath you, ready to carry you through the day. It sounds simple, but for many seniors, that would feel like a miracle. The truth is, losing strength in your legs doesn't just limit how far you walk, it affects how fully you live. It can keep you from the garden you love, the steps in your home, or the walk with a grandchild that once felt easy. But here's the good news. Your legs aren't done yet. They can heal, they can grow stronger, and the first step isn't medication, it's nutrition. In this guide, we'll uncover the 7 most powerful vitamins and minerals that support the foundation of movement muscles, bones, nerves, and circulation. Give your body what it's truly asking for. And one day soon, you just might stand up and realize your legs feel like yours again. If this message resonates with you, and you'd like more gentle ways to care for your body, feel free to subscribe. We'll be here, quietly sharing what helps, one small step at a time. First we have vitamin D, the balance builder. The sunshine switch your legs have been waiting for. What if the secret to walking steadily wasn't in your legs, but in the sunlight you've been missing? If your legs could speak, they'd ask for sunlight. That's not just poetic, it's biological. Because buried deep inside every step you take is a silent helper your body depends on more than you think, vitamin D. Most people think of vitamin D as just the bone vitamin. And yes, it helps your body absorb calcium and strengthens your skeletal frame. But that's only the beginning. Vitamin D plays a vital role in powering your muscle fibers, activating your balance reflexes, regulating nerve-to-muscle communication, supporting your mood, sleep, and energy levels. Without it, your legs may feel like they've betrayed you when really, they're just missing support. A 2020 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Aging Research reviewed 25 clinical trials and concluded that vitamin D supplementation significantly improves lower limb muscle strength and balance in people over 65, reducing fall risk by nearly 30%. And that's not just numbers. It means you may be able to walk upstairs without grabbing the handrail, cross uneven ground without hesitation, trust your knees again. But there's more. Low vitamin D is also associated with muscle cramps, especially at night, tingling or numbness in the legs, fatigue and brain fog, poor sleep, and even mild depression. Why? Because vitamin D affects more than 20 genes, many of which are involved in muscle contraction, brain chemistry, and circadian rhythm. Sadly, over 50% of seniors in the U.S. are vitamin D deficient, especially in winter and in nursing homes. And the symptoms don't always show up as pain. Sometimes it's the quiet things: walking slower, sleeping lighter, feeling less steady, and not knowing why. The good news? It's easy to fix. Sunlight, 15-30 minutes a day on your bare arms or legs. Morning or late afternoon is safest. Food, salmon, sardines, egg yolks, mushrooms, fortified dairy. Supplements, 801 IU. Day is ideal for most seniors. Your doctor may recommend more if your levels are low. Tip: pair vitamin D with food that contains fat, like eggs or olive oil, for better absorption. And here's something even more surprising. Vitamin D doesn't just help with muscles and bones, it also supports immune function and may reduce the risk of respiratory infections in seniors. A 2017 study published in the British Medical Journal found that daily or weekly vitamin D supplementation reduced the risk of acute respiratory infection by 42% in people who were deficient. That's one more reason to take this sunshine vitamin seriously. Vitamin D is a quiet nutrient. It doesn't make headlines. But when it's missing, your body whispers warnings through every shaky step, every lost breath on the stairs, every restless night. And when it's restored, it feels like balance is coming back not just in your legs but in your life. Vitamin D won't take you back to your 30s. But it might help you feel sure-footed again in your 70s. So, if your legs feel slower, shakier, or less trustworthy, maybe it's not age. Maybe it's just a little sunlight missing from your life. The second is calcium, the silent force that keeps you standing. If vitamin D opens the door to strengthen, what exactly builds the frame behind it? The answer is simple: calcium. Calcium is your body's most abundant mineral, and yet many seniors don't realize how essential it is until it's too late. Why are your legs slower on the stairs? Why do small slips now lead to fractures? Why does your balance feel uncertain even on flat ground? Often, the answer is hidden in your bones, quite literally. Bones are not stone, they're alive, they're always breaking down and rebuilding, and to rebuild, they need calcium. But as we age, we absorb less calcium and lose more bone every year. If we don't replace what's lost, the foundation of our strength quietly crumbles. That's when osteoporosis begins silently and without warning. And then one day, a misstep breaks your hip, or a simple fall cracks your spine. A 2020 Harvard study found that seniors with low calcium were twice as likely to suffer falls and mobility decline within just 1 year. But calcium's role isn't just in your bones, it also triggers muscle contractions. Every time you take a step, stand up from a chair, or steady yourself, calcium is the signal that tells your legs to act. Without it, you get cramps, trembling, even collapse. So where can you find this mineral? Start with milk, yogurt, and cheese. Then add in leafy greens like kale and bok choy. Don't forget tofu, sardines with bones, and fortified cereals or soy milk. For most seniors, the target is 200 milligrams of calcium per day, the equivalent of about 3 servings of calcium-rich food. And if food isn't enough, talk to your doctor about supplements. Just make sure they include vitamin D, which helps your body absorb calcium. Without it, even the best calcium may pass through unused like a letter never opened. Take the story of Ellen, 74, from Oregon. After 2 falls in 1 year, she started adding yogurt and kale to her meals, just small changes. Within 6 weeks, her knee pain eased, and the nighttime leg cramps stopped. Her doctor told her, "You didn't change everything just enough. Your bones don't ask for much, but they give you everything: stability, movement, dignity, so give them what they need. Feed your strength, and let calcium carry you, one solid step at a time." Next is vitamin B12, the nerve protector. So you've nourished your bones with calcium. But what if your bones are strong and your muscles are willing, yet your legs still don't seem to listen? The problem might not be in the legs themselves, but in the wires connecting them to your brain. That's where vitamin B12 comes in, the nutrient that keeps your nervous system awake and your steps in sync. Vitamin B12 fuels the communication between your brain and your muscles. It keeps nerve signals fast, accurate, and well insulated. When your body runs low, those messages become slow or scrambled. That's when your legs feel heavy, clumsy, or unstable, even when your bones and muscles are perfectly fine. One of the earliest signs of B12 deficiency is not pain but a strange numbness or tingling in the legs or feet. Over time, that pins and needles feeling can grow into poor coordination, difficulty walking, or even balance loss, leading to the very falls we work so hard to prevent. And here's the hidden danger. B12 deficiency is common in older adults and often goes unnoticed. As we age, our stomach produces less acid, which means we absorb less B12 from food. Medications like antacids and diabetes drugs, like metformin, make it worse. And since symptoms build slowly, many seniors mistake it for normal aging. But the effects are anything but normal. Left unchecked, B12 deficiency can cause nerve damage, memory loss, and even cognitive decline. More immediately, it can make your legs feel like they don't belong to you, like your brain is trying to send instructions, but the wires are frayed. So how do you protect your nerves? Start with food. Eggs, milk, and yogurt. Fish and shellfish like salmon, sardines, and clams. Liver, one of the richest sources. Fortified cereals and plant milks for vegetarians. But here's the truth. If you're over 60, food alone may not be enough. Your doctor may recommend a B12 supplement or injection, especially if you're experiencing nerve symptoms. Your legs are strong, your bones are stable, but if the signal between brain and muscle breaks down, none of that matters. Vitamin B12 is the silent bridge that holds it all together. Don't wait for your legs to forget how to nourish the connection while you still can. The 4 in this list. Magnesium, the cramp calmer, the silent key to a peaceful night. So your nerves are finally firing again, thanks to B12. But what if the pain hasn't stopped? What if, just as you're drifting off into sleep, your leg suddenly jolts you awake with a cramp so sharp it takes your breath away? You sit up, grab your calf, and wait helplessly for the spasm to pass. If that sounds familiar, your body may be trying to whisper a message: I need more magnesium. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral, and for good reason. It helps your muscles contract when they're supposed to, and just as importantly, release when they're done. Without it, muscles stay tense, overreact to signals, and cramp, especially at night, when your circulation naturally slows. That's why the most common magnesium deficiency symptom isn't during the day. It's at 2 a.m. in the dark, when pain yanks you out of rest. According to the National Institutes of Health, more than 60% of adults over 60 are magnesium deficient, but most don't know it. Why? Because magnesium deficiency is silent until it's not. It doesn't scream, it whispers, with leg cramps, restless sleep, sudden fatigue, or a subtle tremor in your thigh. And it doesn't stop at cramps. Magnesium also helps regulate heart rhythm, stabilize nerves, and convert food into usable energy. When you're low, everything becomes harder. Your legs feel heavier. Each step feels like you're dragging something. Sleep becomes shallow. And your muscles may twitch for no reason, leaving you feeling wired, yet exhausted. So what can you do? Start with food, your most natural medicine. Pumpkin seeds, 168 milligrams per ounce, 40% of your daily needs. Almonds, cashews, and spinach. Avocado, black beans, quinoa, and whole grains. Adults over 50 should aim for 310, 420 milligrams per day, depending on sex and health. And for people with chronic cramps, doctors often recommend magnesium glycinate or citrate forms that are easier to absorb and gentler on the stomach. A 2021 clinical review in Nutrients found that magnesium supplementation significantly reduced the frequency and intensity of nighttime leg cramps, especially in adults over 65. While it may not be a miracle pill, magnesium offers something more sustainable: relief, calm, and control. So if your legs are still keeping you awake at night, don't try to fight harder. Sometimes the answer isn't more effort. It's more magnesium. Now let's find out about potassium, the fluid balancer. The hidden key to lighter steps. So magnesium has helped your muscles unwind. But what if your legs still feel heavy? Not sore, exactly, but swollen. Puffy, as if they're carrying extra weight you didn't sign up for. You press your finger into your shin, and it leaves a soft dent. Your socks leave deep marks. Or worse, your ankles seem to balloon by evening. This isn't just getting older. Your body might be trying to say something. I'm holding too much water and not enough potassium. Potassium is the body's unsung fluid balancer. It works quietly behind the scenes to move excess sodium and water out of your cells, so your tissues don't bloat. It also helps your muscles contract and relax in a smooth, steady rhythm without jerks or cramps. But when potassium levels drop too low, a condition called hypokalemiathy effects can be dramatic. Leg cramps, weakness and fatigue, twitching or muscle spasms, heart palpitations or irregular rhythm, swelling in feet or legs. Here's the shocker. According to the CDC, less than 2% of Americans get enough potassium daily. That's not a typo, less than 2%. And seniors are at even greater risk. Why? Because common medications like diuretics, blood pressure pills, and some heart drugs flush potassium from the body. So even if you eat relatively well, your body may still be running low. So what can you do? Start with food always. Here are some potassium-rich champions. Bananas, 420 mg each. Sweet potatoes and white beans, over 500 milligrams per cup. Avocados, 700 milligrams per fruit. Spinach, oranges, and plain yogurt. Aiming for 2 600 milligrams day for women and 3 400 milligrams day for men can make a remarkable difference. Even adding just one potassium-rich food per meal helps rebalance your system over time. And here's something most people miss. Potassium only works well when you're also well hydrated. Water is its partner. Together, they regulate your muscles, flush toxins, and keep your tissues from holding onto unnecessary fluid. A clinical study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that increasing potassium, especially alongside magnesium and hydration, reduced muscle cramps and leg swelling significantly in adults over 60. So if your legs feel puffy, if walking feels harder than it used to, if the scale creeps up but your meals haven't changed, it may not be fat, it may be fluid. And potassium might be the missing key your body's been waiting for. What about the quiet architect of strong legs? It's vitamin K, the bone director. The quiet architect of strong legs. So now you've got the minerals calcium, magnesium, potassium all hard at work behind the scenes. But have you ever wondered, who's telling them what to do? Because without direction, even the best materials can go to waste. And that's where vitamin K comes in, the bone traffic controller your legs quietly depend on. Vitamin K plays a central role in guiding calcium to the right places, into your bones, and away from dangerous places like your arteries and soft tissues. It does this by activating a special protein called osteocalcin, which binds calcium to bone. Without enough K, calcium can wander and end up hardening in the wrong places like your joints or blood vessels. This can lead to stiffness in the knees or hips, poor circulation in the legs, increased risk of heart disease and fractures. In fact, a long-term study in the journal Bone found that seniors with low vitamin K intake had a 65% higher risk of hip fractures than those with healthy levels. That's because bone fragility isn't just about lacking calcium. It's often the result of calcium being misdirected. But vitamin K isn't just a bone vitamin. It also supports joint health by reducing inflammation in cartilage, the cushioning material in your knees and hips. That means it may slow the progression of osteoarthritis, a major cause of leg pain and stiffness in older adults. If your knees ache after walking or feel stiff when you get out of a chair, vitamin K might be a piece of the puzzle. So where do you get it? There are two forms of vitamin K that matter for your bones. Vitamin cone, found in leafy greens, spinach, kale, collards. Vitamin K2, found in fermented foods, natto, fermented soybeans, aged cheese, egg yolks, and liver. K2 is more bioavailable and stays in your body longer, making it especially important for seniors who may have digestive issues or poor nutrient absorption. Can't get enough from food? Supplements can help, but with caution. Because vitamin K affects blood clotting, any changes should be discussed with your doctor, especially if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin. Think of your bones like a construction site. Calcium is the bricks. Magnesium is the cement. Potassium is the hydration system. But without vitamin K, you don't have a foreman. No one's placing the bricks. And what gets built might be weak or even dangerous. So if your bones feel brittle, if your knees are stiff, or if your calcium supplements haven't brought the results you hoped for, vitamin K may be the quiet key your body's been missing all along. Finally is vitamin B6, the nerve and energy booster. Final piece of the puzzle. So far, we've talked about building strong bones, relaxing tight muscles, balancing fluids, and directing nutrients. But what if everything is in place and you still feel tired, numb, or strangely disconnected from your own body? Then the final piece of the puzzle may not be in your structure, but in your nervous system and cellular energy. That's where vitamin B6 quietly plays one of the most powerful roles. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, is an unsung hero. It's not as famous as vitamin D or calcium, but it's absolutely vital, especially for seniors. Why? Because B6 powers two of your body's most essential systems. The nervous system, by supporting neurotransmitter production, serotonin, dopamine, GABA. The blood system, by producing hemoglobin that carries oxygen to your legs. In short, no B6 equals no clear signals and no energy. When B6 levels are low, seniors may experience tingling, numbness, or burning in feet and hands, leg weakness or heaviness, even with normal muscle mass, slower reflexes and poor coordination, fatigue, shortness of breath, or early exhaustion, mood changes, irritability, anxiety, or mild depression. In one study from Tufts University, over 40% of adults over 60 had insufficient B6 levels, and most had no idea. The danger? These symptoms are often mistaken for aging, so no one thinks to check B6 levels. But left untreated, long-term B6 deficiency can cause permanent nerve damage, leading to balance issues, falls, and mobility loss. A 2021 review in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience linked chronic B6 deficiency with increased risk of neuropathy and functional decline in seniors, especially those with diabetes or taking diuretics. Now here's the good news. B6 is widely available in food: poultry, chicken, turkey, fish, salmon, tuna, sardines, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and spinach, whole grains, and fortified cereals. For adults over 50, the recommended intake is 1.5 milligrams women and 1.7 milligrams men per day. Since B6 is water-soluble, your body can't store it long, so you need a steady daily intake. If you have digestive issues, take medications like isoniazid or hydralazine, or eat a limited diet. Your doctor may recommend a low-dose supplement. Most older adults do well with 2.5 milligrams daily under supervision, while high doses over 100 milligrams day long-term may be harmful, mild deficiency is far more common and more damaging than most people realize. Imagine this: your bones are strong, your muscles are ready, and your heart is pumping. But the system still feels slow, tired, or disconnected. That's where vitamin B6 makes all the difference. It's not just the fuel, it's the translator, the ignition, the final connection between every nutrient you've worked to build. And when that connection is restored, your legs don't just walk. They respond. They live again. Senior, remember this: a stronger step toward freedom and dignity. Aging brings challenges, but it should never mean surrender. And when your legs feel strong, your steps steady, and your energy more stable, you begin to reclaim something most people overlook: freedom. Not just freedom to walk, but to visit family, cook a favorite dish, tend your garden, enjoy a morning walk, or simply get out of bed without fear. That's not a luxury. It's a basic human dignity. And your body still wants to give you that if you give it the tools to do so. Throughout this guide, we've explored 7 simple but powerful nutrients that help unlock that freedom again. Calcium gives structure. Magnesium relaxes tension. Potassium clears excess fluids. Vitamin K keeps minerals on track. Vitamin B12 awakens nerve function. Vitamin B6 energizes and completes the system. Together, they don't just prevent cramps. They create conditions for you to move confidently, rest peacefully, and live independently day by day. I hope this series gave you more than facts. I hope it gave you confidence and a quiet voice inside that says, "My body still matters. My effort is worth it." If something in this guide resonated with you or reminded you of a personal experience, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Even a few words can help others feel less alone. And if you know someone, a parent, a friend, a neighbor who could benefit from this, I gently encourage you to send them this video. Knowledge, after all, becomes more powerful when it's passed on. If this video helped you, even in a small way, please consider subscribing, turning on notifications, and joining our community of caring, learning, and healing. This isn't just a channel. It's a space where your age is honored, your body is respected, and your voice is always welcome.